Let me give you some rough statistics, and then I'm going to read you a couple things that really, I think, help you understand the diversity of the homeless population. Roughly a third are families with children. A third are mentally ill. A third are substance abusers, either drug and alcohol or both, which is very complex. The fastest growing population of the homeless nationally, and I believe this will probably be borne out in Santa Barbara, is single women with children.
Both my kids have been blessed with super brains on them. Sean's 13 and Crystal is 4.5. And if you meet Crystal, you'll fall in love. She's a little doll baby. She's a pain in the rear end, but she's a doll baby at the same time. A very loving child, and she's talented. She likes to take a microphone and sing, and she likes to get up on stage and do a number, dance numbers and things like this. She's very outgoing. And this homeless life hasn't affected Crystal. She's just a go-getter. I mean, she gets what she wants. She wants something, she'll go out and get it, but she'll also ask for it. I mean, is it okay if I do this? And I've always brought her up to be, when she was a little baby, I kept her always with me, like a chimpanzee would, and I have taught her how to relate to people.
There are a couple of primary reasons that these economic forces are working on us. First, the economy has changed. We're retooling for a high-tech information kind of economy. And the old standby manufacturing trades, auto manufacturing in the Midwest and shoes up in New England, the factories have been closing at an alarming rate. And by and large, people who'd been making a decent living, a union wage from these kinds of jobs, have found themselves working at a poverty wage.
And when you cut $25 billion a year, putting back $1 billion or $2 or $3 billion just doesn't do it.
We feel that the crisis in homelessness today, the 3 million homeless people out on the streets, are directly the result of Reagan cutbacks in affordable housing and services.
There have been programs in the city of Santa Barbara for a very long time. The Salvation Army has existed for 100 years in Santa Barbara. I've seen old newspaper stories from the 30s in which they report on the hundreds of homeless men that they had helped during the depths of the Depression. So the Salvation Army has been here for a very long time.
We have social services and outreach groups and, help facilities. They tend to kind of counsel people to get them job training, things like this. I think more should be done on dropping the cost of living, so these people that do have, 1, 2, 3, or 4 kids can really afford to live.
We're spending somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million a year on services for the homeless. For the direct services that are provided at places like Transition House, there are over 30 churches in the community that help financially and with actual work at the shelter, acting as monitors at night. Really, the community has responded wonderfully to the problem. The rescue mission is in a new facility on city land that they bought from the city. We made it available to them at fair market value, but land was scarce and most people don't want that kind of facility in their backyard. So we facilitated the construction of the new facility, which can serve many more people than their original one that was on State Street. There's Catholic Social Services, which helps provide help to individuals and families that are homeless.
It's made a holy or a sacred occasion by the feeling that Janet and James have for one another. And I think in some way the jungle where we're standing could be considered holy ground. Oscar Wilde, when he got out of jail and had been quite humbled, said, "Where there is sorrow, there is holy ground." And all of us know that for 50 years at least, where we're standing has been where people in trouble and people at odds with themselves or with life, or people with no place else to go, and certainly people with no home, have come with their sorrows in order to find some place in which they could exist.
As far as the homeless are concerned, it's illegal to be poor in this county, because if you're homeless, you have no place to sleep. If you're going to sleep in the county, you're going to be breaking the law. If you're going to be sleeping in the city, you're going to be breaking the law against camping. So as a result, the courts have recently become clogged with these kinds of cases. Taxpayers are footing the bill. It's very expensive, and it's reminiscent of Anatole France, who once said that the law in its majestic equality prohibited the rich as well as the poor from stealing, begging for bread, and sleeping under bridges.
The one thing that a marriage does beneath all the words which are spoken and the vows which are taken is to be a kind of ceremony in which the people who are marrying one another are in effect saying to each other, "I will be your home." And they offer themselves, and they offer their hearts and their bodies and their souls, and all their energy and their will in saying to the other person, "If you have no place else to be, you can be with me."